Good morning and welcome to the fourth hour. It's Elon. I have Elon Musk mania. Elon Musk now. Take a look at this. This is a story. I think this is from the Daily Mail. Yeah, Daily Mail. Elon Musk is considering paying Doge dividends. Send a $5,000 check to every American following these budget cuts. Would that change? Do you think that would change people's minds if you suddenly start saying, "Hey, by the way, here's a $5,000 check to Americans"? So he is showing interest in the idea. President Trump, get a load of this. He has saved taxpayers $55 billion in less than a month. In less than a month. How much do you think that over time that's going to mean in terms of savings? I wish I had found it. I saw something yesterday where you have seen the counters where counting up the federal debt. So you see it, you click, 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 click. That thing is just spinning, spinning, spinning as you see the U.S. debt climbing. Someone had started, I think I saw it on Charlie Kirk's account on X yesterday. I'm pretty certain that's where I saw it. Charlie Kirk had it on X. You can find it there, where he was showing how fast the savings to taxpayers are accruing. And man, it's like, that is so, I mean, that is just like so funky. You never would have imagined seeing something like that. $55 billion in less than a month. So let's see what's going on. Forgive all the ads here. So President Trump and Elon Musk should announce a Doge dividend, a tax refund check sent to every taxpayer, funded exclusively with a portion of the total savings delivered by Doge. And so Elon Musk then responded to that and saying he was curious. He would check with the president. So we'll see. This is somebody who's floating the idea. So as to whether or not that's actually going to, but it's incredible. American taxpayers deserve a Doge dividend. Do we? I'll just be happy if we can stop spending so much of our money, right? I'd just be happy if, how about we do some kind of tax cut that moving forward, you and I don't need to fund all of this excessive spending. How about we cut taxes moving forward as a result of the waste that we're finding? I think the issue of again, Doge refund sounds really sexy and getting money back, and we all love it. But at the same time, I think a lot of us would feel much more secure in knowing that our children are not going to be paying down this debt, and that our grandchildren are not going to be slaves to the debt that we have incurred in this country. I'd feel a lot better knowing that, I think, rather than needing a Doge refund. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Also, I wanted to, the FDA. We had the leader of the FDA resigning, and I mentioned this story, Jim Jones resigning. There have been a number of people who have been resigning. And I got to tell you, I got on about this early this morning. The story is actually trending. And so he's resigned, but I had another story, and I wanted to, forgive me, that was the story I just had up. But he says, he made a decision. He said, I'm not sure, it was talking about all of the people who are being released, all of these cuts that are taking place. And he says, I'm not sure if it's a lack of understanding of how things get done, or if that there's really no seriousness about what they want to get done. I don't know. I don't want to spend the next 6 months of my career on activities that are fundamentally about dismantling an organization as opposed to working on the stated agenda. So he wants to work on the stated agenda. And my reaction to that is, okay, now he's the administrator. So we're not talking about turning everybody at the FDA into accountants and getting them to be, we are talking about the administrator of the FDA saying that it is his job to make sure that they are running efficiently. And if you've got to take 6 months then in restructuring and the way you are doing things, what will be the savings to voters over time and the taxpayers? What's going to be the savings to American taxpayers over time? And so for these people like this who are, oh, I'm not going to spend my next 6 months of my career doing this, I'm like, good riddance, man. Good riddance. You don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. I'm sorry. But I really feel strongly about this. There is a lot of belly aching and complaining going on. And when I hear it coming from these federal employees, you have got to be kidding. Well, of course they're upset. Hey, man, they've been riding on the gravy train, man. They've been riding on the gravy train. Suddenly that's over. So they're all shook up. I get it. It makes me angry. I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't angry about this. And I am just really good with all of these people that we're seeing, well, they're getting out because of this and because of this, and we don't like this. And they're writing these 6 and 8 page resignation letters. Who in the hell does that? I've said this before. Who does that? I mean, what if you resign? Maybe what? A couple of sentences? A paragraph at most? If you're resigning a job? 6 or 8 pages, they go on. So they're not resignations, they're political statements. And I am just so sick to death of this kind of stuff. And you just see it more and more. So going on, and again, you're an administrator of the FDA. You're an administrator. You run the agency. Your job is going to be different than rank and file people at the FDA. I mean, and I think anybody who's in any kind of a management position understands this. So, but I don't want to spend the next 6 months having to restructure the agency and figuring this stuff out. To me, I say, okay, fine, good riddance, man. We don't need you. Then the country is going to get along better without you if that is your attitude. That stuff to me is just absolutely, it's really kind of stunning. All right, there was another story I wanted to share with you here. This is, let's go. This is from Fox News. This is the front page of foxnews.com right now. You see this story? This right here, this is Senator Chuck Schumer. See all of these folks here? Chinese. Spotted in a photo with a CCP official. There he is. He's pretty happy hanging out with the Chinese. So there are warnings then about China's influence. And where is the influence? Right there. That is just amazing. It's a new story. I was just seeing that after. That's up at that's front page of Fox News right now. The Trump administration is also giving, here it is. They were talking, as we were talking about Jim Jones, the head of the FDA, his resignation, arguing the administration's indiscriminate firing of staff will be a roadblock. Okay, if you wind up firing people then that you wind up, hey, we need these folks and you got to bring them back. I mean, how forgiving will you be of that? I guess I would be fairly forgiving. So you fire folks in an effort to try to save taxpayers money, and then you wind up, shouldn't have fired this person or that person. You hire them back. And did you hear Mr. Wonderful? And was it Clay and Buck? No. It was Mark Lee Van Camp and Robbins yesterday. I'm listening to Mark Lee Van Camp and Robbins on their show, and they got some comments from Mr. Wonderful, and he is saying that this of the cutting that Doge has been doing, right? He's you have him out there saying, oh, he would go a lot further than that. And he was talking that as an entrepreneur, you're coming in and you've got a company, you got a failing company. They're losing money. You have just bought them. So this company has been failing. You're coming in, new ownership. And he said, you could be very aggressive then in firing people. And again, he's saying, you know, you fire someone and you decide later on, turns out, hey, that person is somebody we really ought to have. Then you reach out to them and you say, you know, we would like you to come back. And here are the reasons why, so on. He made a pretty compelling case. And I don't know where he was. I have not seen any print reports on that. But Mark Lee Van Camp and Robbins had the audio yesterday during their show. And it was really kind of compelling. So what he's saying is, in terms of these cuts, these federal cuts, they're not going nearly far enough. They ought to go even further. He's saying, I don't even think he's saying it's a good start. He's saying you can go a lot deeper than this. I would go much, much deeper than this. And it's that's pretty incredible because, you know, everybody else is out there, you know, tears in their eyes and whining and complaining. They don't want to be part of it. And as I said earlier, hey, good riddance then. Let the people who are serious about saving taxpayer dollars get out of the way and let others have the stage. I mean, you want to go cost somebody else some money in the private sector? Good luck with that. But taxpayers are just sick to death of it. There were a couple of other stories here too that I want to one that I think will make you laugh coming up here shortly. But the Washington Post. Now remember, the Washington Post, now owned by Jeff Bezos. They were offered an advertisement calling for Donald Trump to fire Elon Musk. And the Washington Post denied it. They did not take the ad. They killed it. So you get into the details here. It was a $115,000 advertisement calling on Donald Trump to fire Elon Musk. And so this, it was Common Cause, which is a group that stinks. They were the ones who wanted this ad, would have covered the front and the back pages, was supposed to run this week, but it was scrapped without management providing a reason, according to The Hill. So this is with these are Common Cause, the Southern Poverty Law Center. They're all left-wing causes, right? They are all left-wingers. So they're upset. They wanted to spend $115,000 for this ad encouraging Trump to fire Elon Musk. And so now we are forced to ask ourselves, if the Washington Post, a pillar of investigative journalism during Watergate, is unwilling to challenge those in power. You know what Jeff Bezos at the Washington Post wants? He wants people to actually read it. He wants readers. He wants people who are actually going to say, you know what, I should pick up the Washington Post. It doesn't offend the crap out of me every time I read it. He's trying to find more of a middle ground. Bezos is. And from his perspective, he's doing it for money. I appreciate that. He's the owner of the Washington Post. It's his to do with as he pleases. But this is just amazing. You watch the left wing and the way that they react to everything, man. It's either they're in tears or they're angry as hell and we're not going to take it anymore. I mean, it's just absolutely, absolutely incredible to watch their reaction to stuff. This story caught my eye from the New York Post. Gambling addiction has soared since sports betting was legalized. I'm not a gambler. I never have been. I think I work hard to get my money in the first place. So betting and winding up really, oftentimes with nothing to show for it. I mean, I'm not saying I've never gambled. I've done so very infrequently. I was out to Deadwood a little over a year ago, went out to Deadwood. I spent a certain amount of money. And then after that amount of money was gone, I'm done. That's it. I had fun. That's it. I didn't expect to win anything. I never do. That's just not me. So gambling addiction has soared since the legalization of sports betting, according to researchers. And you've got more people that are looking for help for their gambling addiction. So the number of states with operational sports books grew from 1 in 2017 to 38 last year. Total sports wagers went from 4.9 billion in 2017 to 121 billion in 2023. 94% of wagers placed online. Wow. So you got this phenomenal amount of sports betting, and a lot of it is being done online. So I wanted to share that also caught my attention this morning. And then there was this that made me, now this you may not laugh at. I've got to tell you, I did. I don't know that I actually would have done this. But this is a guy, I'm not gonna wreck it. I'm just gonna show you the video first. He is on a plane and he was a little grossed out. And you look at his initial reaction when he starts the video, which makes me laugh. He looks down and he sees a pair of feet under his airline seat. So the person behind him, they're bare feet. Actually, they're wearing like flip-flops, I think. But take a look at this. This is funny. No, I have to tell you, I would never do that. I would never ever do that. I wish I had that guy's courage. But then I wouldn't be who I am. But that just cracked me up when I saw it. So I wanted to share that with you as we close up here this morning. I want to thank you if you made it to the end of the video. Thank you. You are part of my gallery of champions. Hit that like button before you leave. I'd appreciate it very much. And I will see you again tomorrow. So you take care. Smooth sailing today. We'll do it all again tomorrow. See you then.